One of the key pillars in ensuring one is able to successfully walk a journey of realizing their goals in life relates to having the ability to build genuine relationships. A typical example is that of award-winning entrepreneur Edward Majakwara, who points to how past relationships have propelled Air Excellence, an air conditioning company, to dizzy heights.
I would relate this to my story as Air Excellence. Relationships are very important for a start. I would tell you this, when I started doing air conditioning, I started working for other companies. And I worked for 3 companies before. The very same people that were in procurement or maintenance or in finance are the same people that are still there to date. And when I used to work for these other companies, I didn't do anything wrong to them. You know how we do business these days, keep a good relationship with everyone. We got to have a social understanding that I actually know what's going on at his place, what's going on at my place. So moving forward, you find that when I started Air Excellence, when I went back to these companies, if the person was elevated, he's not the procurement manager, or he's a senior something at that company. And it's the same people that started supporting me again. Because we did not do anything bad before, they still liked me, they still believed in me. Whenever they had a problem, I would solve their problem. So they still know that when it comes to air conditioning, Majakwara is reliable, but now it's different, it's Air Excellence. So they still call on that, on Air Excellence. So let's find out a relationship is very, very important. In this business now, you cannot go anywhere without a relationship with anyone. It has to be very close and very tight.
Another success story who strongly believes in the power of relationships is a renowned marketer and broadcaster, Barry Manandi, who underlines the influential role that a solid network can play in the journey towards success.
I am a fan of leveraging the collective strengths of the people you know. So when it comes to things like network marketing, you won't find me sort of advocating that. But what I will advocate is that you are probably, and I forget who said it, but you're 3 phone calls away from the person that you need to meet and the person from whom you need a particular service or to do anything with. So you are possibly 3 calls away from the president of the country. Now, in leveraging that is how you then grow your business, grow your influence, and grow whatever it is that you are engaged in. Doing it on your own, it'll take you a lot longer. But if you do ask the right questions to the people within your circle and within your sphere, they will go into their circle and their sphere, and ultimately you get what you need. So I certainly believe in the African adage that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others.
Often at time, public gatherings present people with an opportunity to network, and award-winning news anchor Leanne Bernard says it is vital for one to be aware of the opportunities which await when placed in an environment where one can build their network.
It's something that everyone should partake in. Use it as an advantage whenever you come into public gatherings. Never sit there and be part of the crowd. No, instead engage, and just by speaking, just by speaking to you, Francis, you get to know, oh, Francis does, media, he's in the media fraternity, and you want to probably push your brand. That could be the opportunity to then network. So if you just sit there and idolize yourself from a public gathering and not use that advantage to network, then you've lost an opportunity to either branch out, either start something, or be part of their network. Because remember, networking also involves a lot of chain groups. Some may be into maybe fuel, some may be into retail. So I learned over the years that whenever I either carry my business card or I try and reach out to somebody who's just there. Like, what do you do? What are you into? So it's important in the sense that whenever you want to probably partake in events management, you want to push your brand, you want to sell your idea, or you want to start up something. You're probably not into business and you're wondering what is the next best thing. The only way to push that idea is through networking.
When dwelling deeper into the vital role of networking in one's bid to realize their goals, communications expert Busi Chindove highlights the need to push aside negative perception associated with the important role played by relationships.
Relationships are not optional, they're an imperative, they're essential. When you look at different spheres of life, it can be in business or in other spheres, it's about people. And what happens in life is people function through societal relationships. So everything comes back to the issue of relationships. And I think we've all heard the adage or the saying that says, sometimes in life it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. I think it's sad that this saying has kind of been made dirty because of issues of corruption. But in the absence of corruption, it's a positive saying. Because if we look at issues of relationships and about those people that we know, and if we really are honest about how one succeeds in life, you cannot do it without other people. Because it's other people who teach you, it's other people who inspire you, it's other people who give you knowledge about issues that you yourself may not have known if you didn't have those relationships.
While many are fond of reinventing the wheel, in many cases relationships offer an opportunity to learn from people that have gone through experiences which their networks can benefit from.
What you want to achieve, someone has already achieved it. The road that you're walking, someone has already walked it. They know what to avoid, what to do, and what not to do. Alliances, they enable you to benefit from the experiences of other people. You will not be able to live long enough to make all the mistakes and to learn everything that you need to learn. Meaning, you need to be able to learn from other people. And the majority of the things that you're actually struggling with, someone has already overcome it. And they know what you can actually do in order for you to experience the success that you want. So, it's not just about having relationships, it's having quality relationships. In other words, choose people who are not intimidated by your success. Choose people who believe in you. Choose people who see greatness in you, even if you can't see it. Because the people you invite in your life, they can either stretch you or they can shrink you. And there's a statement which I think is very true. It says, if you hang around 5 broke people, you'll be number 6. So identify the people who are doing what you want to do and learn from them.
Well, having a mentor or mentors it helps the socializing of your success. Because there's a lot of times where we reach brick walls. You're trying to penetrate the market, you're trying to push this idea or vision, and there's somebody who has also been in that business for probably 10 or 4 years or more than you have been in the field for. So when you have a mentor, either be a business mentor, spiritual mentor, these people help you become successful. People say motivational speakers are the worst people to interact with. They sell you dreams, but guess what? I have a mentor, and over the years I've learned that in order for me to go far, I need partnership. I need to partner, because sometimes we're like, no, it's my business. I'm gonna run this my way. I'm gonna do it my way. But when you're mentored into becoming a successful businesswoman, you take notes from the best. Because obviously I'm not going to sit with someone who is selling at the corner of a road and then tells me, Leanne, you're going to own your SADC branch and you're going to become a distribution center. No, you're selling me dreams. So I'd rather have a mentor who has been in that field, who has lived the steps of even failure, and will tell you the only way to get up from your fall is rising up.
Having pointed to the vital role of building a beneficial network, there remains the need to carefully align with people that possess a positive mental attitude.
Michelle Obama has a saying that I like very much, where she says, surround yourself with people who lift you up. You know, because that's what we need. People who are positive, who inspire and exude positivity, and it affects and impacts you as well to be positive in your attitude towards life. So I think the choice of people who surround you is the first thing. I really would advise people that don't surround yourself with people who are negative. They simply are a hindrance to you achieving your goals and your aspirations. People who are positive inspire you because that positivity is contagious, it's infectious. And if you surround yourself with people who are infectious in terms of positivity, it also helps you to have that positive outlook in life. But I think it's also about surrounding yourself with people who can bring happiness. Because for me, the issue of happiness is important in the path to trying to find success and to goal setting. Because if you look at the issue of goal setting, once you've set your goals, as you achieve those goals, you want to celebrate achievement. And if you surround yourself with negative people, there's no way that you can celebrate achievement with such people around you. So if you surround yourself with people who are positive in terms of their relationship, positive in terms of their inspiration, it also helps you to, at the end of the day, be able to celebrate success. And in goal achievement, celebrating success is important because it inspires confidence and it inspires you to continue to pursue your goals.
When scrutinizing some of the most successful corporations to emerge across the globe, the Jewish and Indian communities provide a model of how forming alliances can emerge as a backbone in the establishment of a business.
Power is only useful when it's concentrated, meaning the small efforts each and every one of us can contribute. Once we put it together, it can be massive. Talk about a solar cooker, one of the common examples, which talks about concentration. The role of a solar cooker is to put solar arrays in one place, and it produces amounts of it, enough to melt iron. You can even cook with that. But what's the secret? Is to realize that each and every person has got something to contribute in your life. Each and every person has got something unique. So we must be willing to sacrifice our individualness for the greater good. So the Indian communities, go into an Indian shop. If you don't find anything in that shop, they are going to point you to another Indian person. Look at what Indians generally do. If there is a service provider that they want, they usually pick from their own community. And why are they doing that? Because they're supporting each other. They are building wealth and they're ensuring that wealth circulates amongst them. The Jews do that as well. Before money gets out of that circulation, it is circulated amongst them at least 6 times. That's what some research says. So which is what I think we need to learn, especially as a black person, not to compete against each other, but to find ways of complementing each other. But it also takes a level where you realize you don't necessarily have to be jealousy of your neighbor's success. If your neighbor is doing well, guess what? It's also good for you. It means it's an opportunity for you to actually learn from them and see what they can do. So don't strive to be the only black person. Desire to be the person who's going to raise the next person. Desire to be the person who's going to contribute towards the common good.
While going it alone can seem a more attractive proposition in building a business, partnerships which bring together people of a different skill set have often proven to be of great value.
Partnerships, I think just like marriage, works on being able to harness your collective strengths. So my strength may not necessarily be your strength. Where I can exert energy and what my passion point is may not be the same as yours. But when we put those two together, they complement. And that complementarity is what then ensures that there's longevity of that partnership. So I think there should be more focus placed on what are you good at? What can you do that I can't do? And then letting the individual thrive and grow in that area whilst you do the same in your particular area. And I think that's possibly one of the areas in which partnerships can grow. I don't think there's a secret sauce. There certainly needs to be a chemistry between the individuals so that there is a bit more than just us having a working relationship. We must have a relationship to begin with. I look at Mike and I, we are friends first and foremost, so that's where it starts. And then we go into our professional vocation. So that having the ability to retire and resign to where it all started and where it's based is a huge strength.
I'll give you two scenarios of partnerships. Most people know A Excellence and they believe I'm the only one there. Well, I'm not the only one. We're actually in a partnership with Enoch Kausa, who's the technical director. My strength is in marketing and administration, but Enoch Kausa is technical. He knows everything about HVAC, things that I don't know. So before we worked together at another company and we clicked, and I saw he was a good guy, he believed in me too. So as we were going along the journey, one day we said, we need to open our own company. But it was a matter of time. So as we were growing, working together, we understood each other better. I identified his weaknesses, I identified his strength, so did he. He was also identifying my strengths and my weaknesses. So when we came together, we put out a code of conduct of how we're going to be working. Since I have a strength in marketing, and he has a strength in the technical field, that's already 50%, that's 50% from me, which comes up to 100. At the end of the day, we need to have 100% in whatever we do. So I might be popular here and there because I'm doing marketing, I'm always in front. Like right now, he's out there, he's in the field, and he spends most of the time in the field doing work. I should never, ever at one time estimate his strength or his contribution to the organization, because if he's not there technically, I wouldn't be here managerially. The same thing with him. He's not good in management skills, but he's good technically. So our contributions are equal. And we have to keep it professional, keep it straight. This is business at the end of the day. Whatever he does outside this, I shouldn't be worried about it as long as we keep the business going on.
The world has often witnessed the emergence of top athletes such as Usain Bolt, Lewis Hamilton, Pete Sampras, Kirsty Coventry, Tiger Woods and LeBron James, just to name a few. While the skill set exhibited by such athletes has been phenomenal, Strength and conditioning expert Grant Mitchell points to the essential role of the network of people behind the scenes.
There's no athlete the world over that has succeeded at the highest level on their own. You know that old saying, no man is an island unto his own. And what most people see in the news reports and the documentaries and on TV and in the highlights packages is that individual succeeding. But behind that individual is a big team, a team of people, a team of professionals whose sole purpose is to put that person in the right position at the right time in order to succeed based on what their purpose and what their goals are. And examples of local athletes that I've worked with, to give three examples. Maikeen Thornycroft, so from the London 2012 Olympics to Rio 2016, she was surrounded by a team of people, a medical team, physiotherapist, strength conditioning coach, nutritionist, sports psychologist, and a coach, and then obviously the parental support, the friendships, and the corporate world. So that was an entire team of 10 to 15 people behind one athlete, all to seek a difference of 4 to 5 seconds of improvement. But that just shows the importance of that relationship, partnership, and support base. Graham Sharp, Zimbabwe's first ever Dakar rider who competed in this year's Dakar, same principle, surrounded himself with a team of people that were there to give him the best possible opportunity. And as long as this athlete was able to do that, success happened. Scott Vincent as well, our top golfer in the country, surrounded himself with a coach, manager, physiotherapist, doctor, nutritionist, strength and conditioning coach, and the success is coming because he has that partnership and that support base. I think it's a very lonely journey to take if you attempt to go on your own. I think you can reach very dark places and question your purpose, but I think if you have a very tight-knit circle of support, you have that ability to reference your decisions or to reference your purpose of people who believe in you and are there behind you to push you in the right direction.
Former Zimbabwean rugby player Gerald Sibanda also points to the important role of networking within the sporting scene.
I think the most important thing in just like life, in any aspect of life, is that you're always one person away from realizing your goal. You obviously have to coexist with different people, different cultures, and also understand probably different languages sometimes for you to be able to express yourself and get to where you want to go. So when it comes to sport, obviously for my journey was to ensure that I connect with every single one of us, my teammates, whether it's coaches or any stakeholder involved, because you never know what tomorrow brings. So it is always important to be diverse in your cultural understanding, and obviously to know that tomorrow you are one person away from realizing your dream. For example, one person can be my teammate today, and then maybe he did not perform very well, and all of a sudden he's out of the team or loses his contract. Then a situation now, for example, I was playing in South Africa. Then that same guy who did not do very well in South Africa all of a sudden finds a contract in Scotland. And when I now want to move to Europe, then obviously he's one of the first people that are going to advise me on the right markets where I think my talent will do well. And I mean, if I did not make those good relations with that person, then obviously in that instance, I'm not able to get the right advice or maybe get the right referral to create that opportunity for me in that market. So it is always important that we learn to be culturally connected with different people and build as many relations as possible with different people.
While people often had to be in the same place in order to connect, the emergence of modern computer technology has made it a lot more easier to connect with people across the globe. Digital marketing expert Tafadzwa Gotora highlights the important role played by social media networks in building relationships regardless of one's territory.
I have a genuine story to tell. In 2015, I connected with somebody on Twitter. She was based in America. She's an American publisher. Actually won some awards. Her name is Saba Tekle. So we started talking. She's Ethiopian but based in America. So we started talking, and she was looking for African authors to co-author an anthology called 20 Beautiful Women Africa Edition. So I obviously, there was the money aspect to it. I paid to appear in this book, and that was my first book that I co-authored. And from that relationship with Sabatekle, she then connected us with Sean Gardner, who was Forbes' most influential social media press influencer, Sean Gardner, who then connected us with Ariana Huffington for us to start contributing to the Huffington Post. So in 2016, I was the first Zimbabwean to contribute to the Huffington Post through the relationship built on Twitter. So the social media is vices, but it's a very powerful tool in terms of networking and branding.
Mono Mkundu is a renowned music producer who has had the opportunity of working with top Zimbabwean artists such as Oliver Mtukudzi, Ja Praiser and Ivy Kombo, just to name a few. Given the number of people often required in the composition of a song, Mono Mkundu points to the role of relationships in one's pursuit of a successful music career.
In terms of music workflow, it is very important to value the people that you work with and to value the contributions of the people that you are working with. And I can give an example of people like Bob Marley and the Wailers, Oliver Mtukudzi, Thomas Mafumo. I never worked with Bob Marley, of course I was still too young, but I've read a lot about him. He's one of my favorite artists. But I've worked a lot with Oliver Mtukudzi and worked for a very short time with Thomas Mafumo. I think just one or two concerts, but I read a lot about him. So if you take a look at those groups, you notice that they had very good instrumentalists and they had very good music producers within the groups. Like for example, in Bob Marley's band, there's a keyboard player by the name of Ilwaya Lindo. He's one person who is credited with a lot of contributions in terms of music production and musical arrangements in the band. And if you take a look at people like Oliver Mtukudzi, by the time I worked with him, we had about 3 music producers in the group. So the workflow becomes easy in the sense that the composer or the band leader provides the song, and then the producers and the instrumentalists in the group, they help in shaping the song. That's the reason why you notice that when a composer or a band leader changes the lineup, at times there's a difference in the quality that will be produced. I can give an example of Alec Macheso. Alec Macheso used to produce massive hits when he had his first and second lineup, but after the departure of those individuals, the level has gone down of producing hits.
TLC on the beat.